Hello and welcome to the rest of your life, starring me. Yeah. Here we go. I hope you had a great Halloween. Great Halloween. Give me 1 second, I have to tag this game here. Yeah. I ho diddly flim. Hope you had a great. Shut up. Shut your full mouth. Great Thanksgiving. I thank you. Giving me so much. Yeah. Give me 1 moment. We're about to rock the Casbah. Okay, I'm ready. Calibrate the weasel. Calibrate the weasel. Alright, start off with a nice dungeon. Let's do a nice dungeon. Hoping for the XP buff of ages long since disregarded. You know? Do a nice dungeon. A normal little nightmare dungeon. Okay. Hoping for XP buff so I can then do the pit. Yeah. Bloodstone number 1. I think I'm going to go ahead and use a gold opal. Opal. So far, so good. Okay, I have over 10,000 life with the barrier. I have to do this for the goblin. There it goes. Kill the goblin. That's a lot of money right there. Stacks of like 150,000. Alright. Yep. So good. There you go. Very nice. Let's just turn the corner, get these items to put on the pedestal. Looking for that XP shrine. Right there. And bad guys might spawn. This dungeon is pretty thin. And I'll be doing more boss farming. I did a bunch of bosses yesterday, but I didn't do Duriel or Andariel. I did all the rest, you know? All the rest. Reaching the end of this end game here with my progression. Only way to grow right now is by changing. And by getting better, slightly better items. Slightly better items. Yeah, it's a little better. Hard to get exactly what you want, though. So hard to get what you want. would be nice if there's continual progression. This was a relatively short dungeon. Actually. Oh my gosh, I missed so much. It was a moat on the ground. And there you go. All done. Spiritborn, Michigan. Nothing there. Maybe I can kill the Blood Maiden one time. I think I can. I think I can. Yep, 7 minutes, but I gotta hurry up. I'll probably knock out a couple Grim Favors here. Alright. So 75 cultists. I didn't do it. Hey there, Ian, how's it going? Did you end up using that pig mask? How'd that pig mask come out? So yeah, I just now started. Okay, this isn't like my third stream in the day or something. This is my first stream. Oh, it was for a client. Cool. That's cool. And oh my, what? That shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened at all. With my 10,000 stuff. I was caught at the very edge of that explosion. Alright, we got 7 minutes when we open up one box. Hopefully I can kill these cultists. I have 3 minutes. And there are the cultists. Yeah. Well. And then right over here. That's a weird link. And that's a weird link right there. That's a weird link. Don't know about that one. Hi, would you like to go to https://scontent.fcxh3-1 Trust us. The computers are speaking to each other now. Interloper. Establish connection. They're talking to each other. It wasn't meant for us. I guess that's better. I'll try to click on it in just a second. Let me leave the Helltide for a moment. I'll try. Sometimes things crash when I Alt-Tab. So, here we go. I'll let things calm down for a bit so that the resources aren't too crazy. Oh, that's cool. Black and white picture. That's cool. That's cool. With 100% pure. Whatever. I can't make that joke around here. I can't make that joke in these parts. After the morning. Oh, that's cool. That's a good job with the coloring and all that. Nice subtle blends. I like that. A lot of attention to blending the color, I can tell. Has a bunch of layers to it. You know what I mean? Oh, did I not hit the button? Did I not hit the button? It doesn't tell you who's guilty. Mm-hmm. Well. Leader is AFK. Alright, I'm going. Leader was AFK. Dang it. After the morning that I wake up. I guess not then. I'll just go in all by myself. How about that? Let's start at 65. Let's start at 70. $1.5 billion gold. Yeah. That's cool. Hopefully that post gets you new clients, even though it's no longer Halloween. I'm sure there's a big community of people that like leather-made flim-flam, that custom-made leather garbage. Not garbage, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I thought you made like belts and basic wallets, not like artistic stuff. That's cool. I'm sure you make like artistic belts as well. Some sort of artistic belt made of leather. Like a fine belt. A fine belt of rich leather. They haven't made that many belts. Well, I guess belts aren't all that in demand anymore, are they? Back in my day, you just had to have a good belt. Oh, bags, wallets, and costume gear. And weird BDSM masks. You know how to incorporate a zipper? I'm sure you do. I wish to commission a full Catwoman outfit. Full body. Pure leather. Oh, you don't enjoy making them? Oh, okay. The Tim Burton, Nicole Kidman version. Yeah. Well, there's like a whole community of people that really enjoy leather. There's a whole community of people that are quite fond of leather. Yeah, there's a whole leather situation, you know. I need something that can help me express my desire. Be quiet. Sorry, Mr. Cage. The cage wishes to speak. The cage does not speak. As he was saying, beg no expense. Money is no object. No barrier. Let's go up to 75. Always trying to stop himself from drooling. Mouth is pried open with these leather straps. Yes. One special request. Could you mix some of your own blood into the red paint? Or perhaps I can send you a vial. It's for... It just needs to have just a little bit. Otherwise it won't work. I can't tell you what won't work, but you know. Oh, bodily juices, yeah. Yeah. Bodily foods. I have a series of heavy gauged thick ring piercings down my spine. I used to suspend myself from the ceiling. And the problem is the straps kept breaking around and stuff. I was thinking maybe leather might be a better idea. If I send you the hooks and the rings, can you find a way to incorporate that into some sort of thick leather straps? I'll take a picture of my back. And it's still healing because it's usually some damage after my acrobatics. One of the rings slips usually, and you know. But there's doctors on site, so it's never that bad. It's just hard to apply a tourniquet to a back, you know what I mean? That's the main problem. But there's no major arteries along the back tissue, so. I'm good. I was thinking about that movie called The Cell with Jennifer Lopez and Vince Vaughn, I think. One of Vince Vaughn's serious roles. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're fine. Goodness gracious. Does my love open the door to your face? Well, that's done. Yep. Sometimes I like to be suspended by my piercings. Oh. Be sure to spray the holes down with a blend of canola oil and cocoa butter to ease the flesh. I like to suspend myself sometimes. Tell me, Doctor, have you ever been suspended? How would you know? Yeah. Get a line, I'll get a line. Baby. Get a line, I'll get a line. We go down to the line. Yep. Yep. I was having some weird flashbacks of the army for a second. I'm back in the present moment. I'm in the Helltide now. I just did 2 solo, lowish level pits. Just testing myself out because it's been a while since I've done the pit. That was 75. Yeah. So have you seen those humanoid robots? Have you seen them humanoid robots? This year, there's been a lot of humanoid robots all throughout the year. Right now, it's November. There has been a lot of human. It's really quite interesting. It's quite the boom. We'll see how they develop over the next 5 years. We'll see what happens. There's a bunch of companies from China that are making some nice humanoid robots. I mean, I really think it would be it would change the world. You know, like people want to be Slaves. You know, people really want to. You want to take away these jobs from hard-working Americans down there in the mines? Using tools with your hands like a caveman? What is this? Gotta meet my quota. Craziness. I don't know. So it's a complicated argument, really. You know, it's complicated. So let's just imagine. It's like it's hard to imagine a world where people don't have to work because there's robots doing everything. You think then there'd be too many people doing nothing. Why is that a problem? But people have to do something. You can't just exist. You gotta do something. You want stuff to be handed to you without people slaving over it? People have to turn the wrench, you know? Who's going to be down there in the mines, the oil shaft and the sewers by hand? Grubbing the walls of the sewer so it doesn't get too congested. I saw that Dirty Jobs episode. A person has to go down there into the sewer to break up the fat blocks with a weird pole. Sometimes the fat globs together in the sewer. And the kitchen grease, you know, and other things. You gotta break up the fat globs with this here pole. Get down there, because we don't have a machine for it. Or something. It's like people only want other people because they can do stuff for them. You know what I mean? Because how are you a contributor to society? Do you have to be? That seems like you're using people for other things. You know? Unless you're helping out everybody else, you don't deserve to exist. What have you done today, comrade? For the betterment of the world. Not good enough. Get out there and plow them fields. Here's a backhoe and some instructions. And gloves. It's like you have a small town that was formed over the existence of asbestos or something, and then asbestos gets banned, and then the town gets shut down. Are you supposed to get mad about something? What do we get mad about? Asbestos. Why do you exist, asbestos? Why are you so good at insulation? Or something. We shouldn't have built this town and have this be our only means of survival. This resource is no longer valid. No. What's up with this music? Am I missing something here? It's like the third act of a Christopher Nolan film, where things really start happening. You know, the plan's coming together. Right? Think about it. Usually confusing and slow, and then things really start to make sense, and everyone starts to walk a bit faster, you know, and lots of camera angle changes, and you know. Now what's happening over here? Now what's happening over there? Loading up trucks and closing doors. Handing off an ID card and looking at somebody and nodding. They're doing it. The plan's coming together. Not today. What's happening? Sometimes my storm feathers don't come out. It's a bunch of horse radish. This is quite the arduous a fight. Ding dong a dinger dong. So I'm really thinking about making a new character. Oh my gosh, is that really Charlie XCX? That person's name is Charlie XCX, so it has to be them. Huh? Now I know I can't talk about it here, but did you hear the latest about Dragon Age Veilguard, whatever the heck it's called? We can't talk about it now. But did you hear about it? There's a certain game clip that was shared on the internet. You might want to look it up. But I heard that... Is it Ubisoft or... No, it's BioWare. BioWare is taking the clip down from the internet, but it's still on X. It's a long game clip. Did you see it? Aid would be welcome. No. You probably didn't see the right clip. There's a long clip. Okay? Did you watch the pulling a barv clip? You gotta look up the pulling a barv clip, okay? Oh, I can't talk about it. Talk about it. If this were just an X video, I would totally just talk about it all day long. We have a great old time. But I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, and X right now. X is where it's at. If you're not on X, you don't know what you're doing. Other platforms look, okay? I'll let you know something interesting, okay? It has come to the point where if you do not editorialize, it is wrong. That is the new Zeitgeist, okay? If you don't censor and editorialize, you are wrong. If you are biased, you are right. If you are not biased, you are wrong. Okay? So, like, that's what happened with the Washington Post. Because this year they didn't have an editorial section where they endorsed a candidate. People are boycotting the Washington Post in droves, mainly from one side versus the other. And they're blaming it on Bezos, because he owns the Washington Post. They're saying, you're listening to billionaires, you control what you're doing. You're letting this happen? I can't believe this. Why won't the paper be biased? You know? They're really angry that it's not biased. Alright? And then, you know, there's people are saying that they try to search for something on YouTube or something, and not showing up. Like the third page deep, and it's all this other sort of slant when they search for something, or you search for one thing and you get the other thing. Or with other AI systems giving weird, politically correct answers. When you try to ask for things or ask for a picture, you get some answer, and they're purposely creating an editorialized result. A purposely biased answer. And X is in quote-unquote trouble because they aren't doing that as much as they quote-unquote should. And Elon Musk is just letting it happen. You know? So you should probably join X to see the full picture if you want to know what's happening in reality. Otherwise, you only get one side, or you only get one perspective. Yes, it's more than one perspective, but it's one perspective. The major. I'm looking for the stupid thing. Where is it? I'm blind. There it is. Yes, so look up the pulling a barv, B-A-R-V. Clip. The whole thing. It's like 3 minutes long. You gotta watch the full 3-minute long or 4-minute long clip of this game that you probably can't search on YouTube. Maybe you can, but it's being pulled. This is a big game clip. Weird because people are streaming, and I think it was a early release or something, because the game just came out yesterday, but the clip was released before the game came out. Like early access or something. Some window where you're not supposed to share. I don't know. I mean, it's probably available on YouTube. I can search for it right now. I mean, I'm actually kind of curious to see if it is being censored. Pulling a bar. If I just type in pulling a bar, if I should get it. Yeah. Yeah, it's there. Mm-hmm. About 2 minutes long. It's about 2 minutes long. First search. But then it's just a bunch of people talking about it, and maybe showing a brief little moment. But, you'll find the actual clip on the X platform, I think. From some guy named Grumz, G-R-U-M-M-Z or something. He shared it, and then that's being reshared. Pointing it out. It has millions of views. No. Pulling a barb. I can read you the transcript. I can read you the transcript of that scene because they got the transcript for it, you know. That should be enough. I'll wait until Ian comes back in the chat there so we can see what is said. And here we go. Into the hole we go. My opal has worn off. My opal. I'll see if I can find it on X. Pulling a barb. I am Peter with the first name known as Dinklage. It's true. One sec. Give me a moment in your life. Oh. Here. Yes, GRUMMZ. And let me just see here really quick if I can find the AI transcript of the thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Have some fun with you and me. Jeez. How is it so hard to find something? 5, 4, 3, 2, and right about here. Okay, I found it. Hey there, Chris. How's it going? I'm gonna read off this transcript from the game. So, there's a game called Dragon Age Veilguard. Alright? And it has, you know, at first people thought it was gonna be weird and terrible because of the character creator having certain options, and then other signs that it might be kind of bad. And I thought it was gonna be bad because of other things I saw. And now, of course it's bad. It's probably the... I don't know if y'all agree with me. You might not be in the same perspective as me. I'm sure some of you are. I'm sure some of you aren't. Okay? Or, you know, you're not even in this entire wavelength of what I'm even talking about. You know, the whole idea about wokeness and whatever. The long and short story of it is that when you have a need to insert social justice and equity and inclusion and so forth into your title, and it hijacks the narrative where you'll have a whole sequence where it's all about that. Imagine if you have a scene in the Avengers where a person gets pulled over, and then it's all about certain factors, you know? Gets pulled over in a car by a cop, and then the cop gets mad, and there's a whole thing about this whole bram. Boom. It's like wasting 10 minutes of a show or 5 minutes of a show talking about something that is in reality. This refers to reality. Current events. That whole thing. It's bad. Happens in a game. Even worse because you're forced to sort of interact with it. Well, that happened with Dragon Age Veilguard. So I'll read this transcript if you don't mind. Now, forgive my language. Maker's panties. That snake's nose. She's holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties. I was so proud. Ah, jeez. They are still holding it. Sorry. What are you doing? Pulling a barb. Okay. A barb? Tradition in the Lords of Fortune from one of our old members. Barb. Good guy. But like most of us, his plans went sideways a lot. You see, bad blood amongst your crews. Not good for morale. But there's not always time for some big drawn-out apology. So when one of us screws up, and we know we screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right, pulling a barf. And meanwhile, she's doing push-ups. So she's doing push-ups. She only does 5, by the way. Just 5 slow push-ups. And she says, basically, when someone does something wrong, and they know that they did something wrong, to prevent bad blood, you do a quick 10 push-ups, and then you're done. No need for a long drawn-out apology. And they're referring to calling the other NPC she instead of they. Okay? They said they, I'm sorry, they, not she. Whoopsie. Okay? And then, there we go. I'm glad the Lords of Fortune have Tosh's back. Oh, Tosh isn't the first non-binary member of the Lords. Really? It was a little before your time, but Horlicks was one of ours. Bastard looked better than I did in a dress or pants. And out of them, too. Any reason you can't just apologize? Why can't you just apologize? Why do you gotta do push-ups? Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. This is in the Dragon Age video game. I'm reading the transcript from a scene in the Dragon Age video game. This is in a video game that came out this year. Okay? Some people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it, but they just want to get the whole thing over with. Trust me, I know. But pulling a barv, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little bit more. Shows the other person you mean it. What if they mean it when they say that they're sorry, though? But what if when they say they're sorry, they mean it? And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it all about them. Oh, you know I didn't mean it right. I'll never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over and make them feel better. Well, guess what? The person that's giving this speech, they're making all about themselves and this stupid barbs history and push-ups and so forth, and they haven't said sorry yet. If they feel like it's bad, they haven't said sorry yet. They're doing push-ups, and they're giving a speech about how saying sorry isn't good, and you have to do push-ups. You know? I'll never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it. Yeah, whatever. So that's the pulling a barb theme from Dragon Age Veilguard. If you want to look up the video on the internet, that means that you should never buy the game, and you should uninstall it and throw it in the trash. They make you, and you have to, at a certain point during that sequence, you have to interact and ask questions. That was brave of you. How considerate. I'll think about the same thing in the future. What is this? It's like an interactive, equal equality course or something. Like hi there, everybody. Today we're going to learn about sometimes you can't say you're sorry. Sometimes you gotta do some push-ups. Especially when you misgender somebody. But that's in the video game. You know? So that's what people are really referring to, because that example didn't exist before last week, before yesterday really. I think that was from yesterday. Okay? And this is an example of the wokeness sort of thing. People give other examples, but this is going to be the future example from this point forward. From 2024 on, that is going to be the example that's going to be used in all future references of what it means to have thing hijack the narrative. This is a bunch of adventurers getting together during some moment after battle, and it turns into this weird lecture about how to say sorry to people when you misidentify them or something. You know? Turns into the entire narrative. In fact, I think it might be the entire the narrative of the entire game. Sort of. It could be the entire narrative of the entire game. Perhaps. I think Ian is still watching said clip. Alright. I'm gonna head over here and get some goodies out here in the wilds. I'm totally multitasking right now. Totally. beep. And here we go. Bada boom, bada boom. And no, I did not think that Baldur's Gate 3 was woke. Okay. It can do whatever it wants. I feel like it's more of it's just a role-playing game with things that happen. And different characters. But, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure at some point, because I never beat Baldur's Gate 3, there might be some sort of interaction at some point where you sit down with some people and they discuss their life. I mean, there is that one dude, Astarion, who talks about his old life as a vampire concubine slave. You know? But that's sort of a universal thing. Understood. At no point was it sort of like generalized. And that's why I can't... that's the problem with these businessmen in this city. They take and they take and they take, you know? That's the problem with business, you see. Business in general, and capitalism. I don't think that speech comes up. You can say, that guy's evil. He used to keep me as a slave in the noble area. You could say that I guess everybody knew that this guy has a weird concubine slave guy hanging out with him all the time. But I also feel like in that context, Astarion liked it. He didn't like eating bugs and being treated like garbage, but he liked all the attention. And he liked how he was treated by other normal people and commoners. And he felt like he himself was a noble, even though he has to eat bugs to be a normal. I feel like he really enjoyed it. He enjoyed the clothing that he was wearing, and, you know, whatever. Maybe not being a slave for 200 years. That kind of sucks, I guess. But you're a vampire, so whatever. You have a different pain threshold and a different sense of time. Okay. So, right over here, I'll drop off these notes. Astarion. Went. A pained groan. Maybe I'll knock out another dungeon. This is a harvest for 3 moats. There's 2 more moats out here. I'm just gonna knock it out real quick while I'm doing things. I think there should be some sort of filter on the side of the screen that shows all the active stuff with an organized tier list where you can click on things. It should show all of these active things, you know? It should say active blah blah blah, and you click on it from the side. Because it's active dungeon, click on it. It's sometimes really hard to find the stupid dungeon that you just opened up. Or the Realmwaker. Where's the Realmwaker? Oh no. The whole thing. Or even the world boss. You can't click it. Up there. Alright. Alright, let's keep on going. Down, 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 down. if Ian can hear me, I don't mind like sharing that pig mask picture in the Gooboberti Facebook group. I just don't like other game streams, you know? But other content in general, fantastic. 100%, you know? If there's somebody that was a professional knitter and they knit things and they want to post their little knit pictures, that'd be great. Here's my knit Yoda sort of thing. But not so much game clips as much. Or anything really in the look at how good I am in the games category of life. Look at how good I am at the game that this guy is currently streaming. I don't want that so much. That's a bit competitive. You know what I mean? It's like if I had a bass fishing thing and I'm trying to catch some fish and people kept posting how big their fish catches were. I don't think they're... And they also have pages where they stream themselves fishing. I don't think that they're in my page to learn about fishing. They're here to get an audience for their fishing page. You know? They're not here to learn anything. Or they're here to, you know, hang out in a community of fellow fishers that share their love of fishing. Which is a possibility. Possibility. But it opens up the door for the bad kind of person that really is a vampire. You know? It's actually in the game plan of the common streamer. You're supposed to buy a bunch of bots. You're supposed to co-stream and stream with other people and invade other people's streams and then vaguely talk about how good you are at something. And then vaguely mention every so often that you're streaming. And do that for a long time. And then start to maybe potentially trickle off. And then hope that you get into their stream with the mic on. And that's your chance to be really good and take over. And be funny or something. And that's why whenever a person wants to play with me and they ask me if I have a mic, I say, let's not do that. Because that opens up the door down that rabbit hole of that, which I think happens. It has happened in the past. And, yeah. That's why I don't let other people talk in this stream. This is almost over. Let's go over here and slay the Blood Maiden in 15 minutes. Yeah, Ian. But that's what I was saying. Like, if you had, like, you made some Fallout bottle caps that you engraved, that sort of thing, fantastic. 100%. If you post a video of you killing the Scorch Beast Queen in 10 seconds, not good. If you make a custom embroidered, awesome with embossed lettering Fallout 76 leather jacket, amazing. Oh, did you watch the video there, Ian? Were you able to find it? Did you hear me read the transcript? I read the transcript. You said that you're gonna go watch the video. Did you find it? Pulling a barve, B-A-R-V-E. It might be hard to find the actual video, but I just read off the transcript. I can read it again if you want to. I can read off the transcript again. I have that power. Oh, Ian, whenever you do post stuff to the collective with your work, just make sure to say that Gooboberti said it's okay. You know? Gooboberti said it's fine. I checked in with them. The rabbit hole. You know? So, I just think it's really funny, you know? It's funny for a couple reasons. Reason number one, she only did 5 push-ups and not 10. That's reason number one. Reason number two, it's ridiculous to have a whole conversation about why you shouldn't apologize. And why you should inflict physical pain instead. It's pretty nuts. Nope, saying sorry ain't good enough. And then 3 is the basic premise that is even a thing to begin with. You know? The very concept of this, that this needs to even be brought up. She did 5 slow push-ups while she was talking, and she said to knock out a quick 10. Whoop. Gotta pull a barf. My wife is dead. Oh. Looks like I pulled a barf. Gotta pull a barf. 1 second. Anyways, as I was saying. Hold on a second. Now, I was in the army for a long time, and knocking out 10 push-ups is a thing, by the way. That's a military thing. It is a thing. It's a quick disciplinary action that you inflict on somebody when they mess up. You know, it happens all the time. You know? Drop down and knock out 20. It's not 10, because 10 ain't all that much. It's like 20. It's like, you know, it's the smallest level of infraction is push-up. You know? That means it's taken care of. It's done. You don't got to think about it anymore. If there is no push-up, that's not good. That means that they're keeping track of it, and that they'll counsel you on it next week. You know what I mean? Your punishment is 10 push-ups. No, your punishment is showing up every day at 17:30 after you've eaten, to then clean this whole garage. You know? That's a real punishment. A real punishment is doing something that is related to the actual crime until you know it's not. If you show up late, that means you show up early and you sign in. You know, if you got caught showing up late, you have to show up early for a week and sign in at the front desk. And if you mess up, then it's an actual issue where it gets even deeper, where you get recommended for UCMJ action, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, where you get loss of pay and imprisonment, sort of. It's, you know, I've had it happen to me before for something. I was speeding on base, but I wasn't really speeding. I was going 18 miles per hour. Okay? I got a ticket for 18 miles per hour because the speed limit was 10. You're going almost double the speed limit, you maniac! On paper it sounds bad. You know? But in reality, it's because some people get let out of physical fitness earlier than others. You know? So while you are driving back to your room, if you live someplace else than where you work, on base. Some people have their barracks like further away and you have to drive there. So driving back to where you live after the physical fitness, and there's people still on the road running. So way down the road there's a person running. You know? Or there's a formation of people running, like a company. When my granny was 91, she did PT, dressed for fun with her left, to left. They're way down there, you know. supposed to go 10 miles per hour as you pass them, but they're like way down there, you know. And they took a left before they even hit my position, and I wasn't even going all that fast. And then whoever was running in that formation flagged down the nearest MP that was around the corner, and went boom. And the guy in the back seat wasn't wearing a seatbelt. On the military base, everybody in the car had to be wearing a seatbelt. So the guy in the back seat wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and I was going 18 miles per hour. Punishment is extra duty. And you can't leave the base or the company area for a week, I think it was. I got in trouble twice technically, but yeah. Can't leave the area for a week or 2 weeks. A week, depending. A week where you can, go to the dining facility, you can go to your room, you can go to the nearby recreational areas, like right nearby, but you can't leave the base. So it's basically like a really good jail for a whole week. What if you have a significant other or something? Too bad. Can't leave the base, and extra duty means that you are given, extra duty means that all weekend long, so the entire day of the weekend, you show up in military uniform and you do some weird janitor job, like some horrible Full Metal Jacket sort of clean the bathroom all weekend long punishment. But it's stuff that has to be done, like wax the floor of the entire hallway in this headquarters building, which is actually a nice therapeutic job, but it's all weekend long. And then during the week, they give you a little bit to eat, and they say come back here in an hour, and then you stay there until late night, until like 2300 or some weird thing. Basically as long as you have 4 hours to sleep, they can keep you there as long as they want for some minor infraction. My point is that push-ups is the least of the worries, and it usually means don't worry about it, it's over, it's taken care of. If you make someone do push-ups, and it's usually ordered. But if a soldier does it on their own, it's seen as a really good thing, For example, if there is a really good, goody two-shoes sort of soldier, and they are addressing somebody, and they mess up in how they're addressing, or they don't call somebody sergeant, or something like that. Hey, oh, 1 second. Sergeant, I was wondering, you know what I mean? That's pulling a barf. You mistitled somebody in the military. Hey, sir. Oh, sergeant. 1 second. You call somebody sir instead of sergeant, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? So, you can think about how the enlisted thinks about officers and how they don't want to be addressed as officers in the same sort of misgendering sense. Because people in the military make a big deal about being called sir. Sir, what? I work for a living. It's also really bad in general. Like you get your boss's rank wrong or their position of authority wrong. Can you imagine that? Like not knowing somebody in your chain of command or chain of responsibilities. Power. It's a whole different role. I know this is like a long meandering monologue I'm giving you right now. It all connects. You gotta trust me. You see, the difference between enlisted and officers in the army is officers make the overall plan, like the overall like mission statement sort of thing, and they are in the end responsible, like financially, for things. Like they own everything, and then they sub-hand receipt the items to soldiers and so forth, and they make the major plan or the target. They have like some, like I said, the mission statement is more like it. We will make sure that we have all of our soldiers with this standard by this date. How are we going to do that? You know? And then they're sitting there with the NCOs, the non-commissioned officers, the sergeants, the enlisted, who make it happen. The whole motto of the non-commissioned officer is NCOs make it happen. You know? Like you tell them what you want, and they figure out how to make it happen by coordinating and making an intricate plan and dealing with personnel on a one-on-one basis or in a hierarchical basis. Whereas officers only talk to other officers or to whoever's really in charge of all of the enlisted people. They don't directly interact with individual soldiers. They're the ones with the master plan. The master plan, and they're the ones that can say, retreat, or something like that, you know? So, they're the ones that give the enlisted the suicide missions. You know? We'll figure out, we have to have this happen. I'm sorry, we have to have this happen. It's gonna get them killed. We'll figure out how to reduce the number of deaths. Go. So that's why enlisted resent being called officers, because they feel like they sit there with a coffee cup all day doing nothing while everybody else is working in the motor pool hard while these other guys were in the office working on their email for their next report. But they're the ones that are really devising the plan. I know this because I was not an officer, but I was sort of in an officer position for a while, off and on, in the signal category, signal branch, you know? Usually there's not that many people working in the communications section, and I usually worked in a headquarters capacity because my job dealt with information technology, like the Geek Squad IT people that fix things. You know, that was my job. But specifically, it was radios. It was like radios, you know? Encryption for the radios. But then it's also, if there's government issued cell phones, I had to issue the government issued, like, Blackberries and get the Verizon things online. You know? If there's computers, okay, and then the networking side, and then user accounts, and the government email accounts, and everything involving all of the official government issued software and all of the standards and coordinating with updates and running network lines and running all cables of all variety and eventually anything that is electronic. Here is a GPS device. Is it fancy? Does it require encryption? Yes, that's my job. Some sort of thing. If it's some sort of newfangled device that you have to use and incorporate into your overall job, then it goes through the signal people. But at the headquarters level, it's just like one or two people, or just one person, typically. You know? That one person can handle it. You know? Where's Kamo? Oh, he's out there filling the radios. It's the encryption changeover. He'll be back in a little bit. Running around to all these different radios by hand. It's actually really interesting. People don't realize how it all works. You have to do it manually. How else do you think it works? You know? It's like a manual code transfer. Really interesting. But that's like a grunt job. Like walking around doing things. But it's also a very important job. It's a very sensitive job, and you have to have a high security clearance and so forth. It's a very, very important job with a high level of responsibility. Like, if you lose the thing that you're holding, it's really bad, you know? If you give it to some careless person, and they're just walking around, and they misplace the thing that you gave them, oh no, I went to the restroom, and it's around here somewhere. That means that the entire country or something. It means that whoever is using that current code sequence has to roll back and, you know, and it has to go to another code sequence because the current code sequence is released. It's really bad, so it's really important. And I would work with a bunch of majors and a bunch of captains and not really lieutenants, because lieutenants was like a lower job, to be honest. You know, a bunch of captains and majors and lieutenant colonels. And then colonels. And whatever. And coordinating with the main headquarters to pick up the encryption. But I was also in charge of creating the slideshow meeting presentation thing, because it's electronic. So all the staff sections would hand me their end product, and I would have to put it together and then make sure that there's no typos and make sure it's presentable and run the darn thing by hitting next slide, and then give a speech on my section. Alright, S6, what do you got? Well, blah blah blah. Next week you get issued the new radios. I'll be make sure that they're issued on all the vehicle updates and commanders, backbone things, BlackBerry phones. You know. But officers call each other by the first name. Hey there, Bill, how's it going? Oh, it's going quite well. And they act like politicians. They act like politicians because that's kind of how they are. You know, they have to do the high-level coordination because they have to make a game plan. You know, like the main plan, like I said, the mission statement. And they're all smiles. And they're really the face of the organization. They're the face. But the brain and the muscle, really, well, the tippity top frontal lobe brain, or whatever, a main aspect, let's just say the ego and so forth aspect of the brain would be the officer, but all other parts of the brain would be the enlisted and the muscle. But the voice, you know, the voice would be the officer, perhaps, because it's their company. They're in charge of it. But the person that runs things is the main, like, first sergeant, the main enlisted guy. He's the one that you're afraid of. You don't even see the captain, like the actual captain of a company. They're in their office all day. They might come out once a week or something, or once a month for the company run. Oh, we have to run 4 miles. Look, there's Captain so-and-so. All right, everybody, we're going to have a good run, okay? 4 miles. You might say a few words. Dismissed. First Sergeant, they're yours. All right, get over here, you maggots. Get over here. You want to live forever? The whole thing. You know? All right, they're yours. Let's do this. I was trying to say that the whole drop down and give him 10 thing, pulling a bar, that's from the military. And normally it's an ordered thing, but if you do it on your own, it's even more respected. And it is done whenever you mess up and you know you messed up. It's pretty much what they said in that cutscene, but it's more about the military and about messing up in some other, not dramatic, but, you know, usually while you're talking and you show some slight disrespect to your leadership. Sort of thing. Like a quick slip up. Otherwise, you can't just excuse it really quick by just voluntarily doing 10 push-ups and standing up. Like, if you show up late, to work, you can't just quickly jump down and do 10 push-ups and stand back up and it's fine. You know, you have to be talked to by your leader before you can just go about your way. But if you catch yourself doing something weird, you know, before somebody else does, you go ahead and do it. I'm looking for this thing. Oh well. Why can't I find it? Over here? I feel like it'll be right here. No. Oh, I already got it. That's why, because it wasn't done yet, so it wasn't marked. Yeah. Alright, we have another Realmwaker to attend to. Alright. We got 45 seconds. Da 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 da. $16 seconds. Yeah. Right here. I'm currently at how many gems? A whole lot. Almost 1,000,000 of every type for the gem fragments. I think I'm going to try to go for 300,000 now. I think I'm over 200,000 of the iron ore and rawhide. Oh yeah. Gallovine, Gallovine. It's Christmas time in your face now. So hey, it's almost Christmas time. Do stores have Christmas music playing yet? You figured that it would start to maybe have Christmas music playing. Or something like that. Anybody experiencing snow yet? Probably. I can't believe it. It's the worst snowstorm of the century. We gotta do something about this climate. If we broke it, we can fix it. Geostorm, starring Gerald Butler. Gerald Butler. What? I have keys? What are you talking about? Get out of here. You telling me I don't have keys? Since when? Since when do I have... Since when do I not have keys? I must have put them away or something. I don't have any keys on me. I normally buy a couple every time I go back. Every time I every time that I go through, I absolutely have keys. You rarely find one of these stupid chests, and I buy keys all the time. Whenever I have a remainder that I can't spend on items. Okay. Bye, bye, bye. Do. Yeah. Yes. Whoa. Torment challenges, gold, equipment, materials. I like the torment challenges quite a bit for these boss summoning parts for those endless boss fights. So every so often I gotta check the public group situation to see if there's, you know, a quick pit I can do or like a little rotation of some boss fights. I really don't like when the boss body parts pile up that much. It's really not that hard just to knock out a quick couple fights here and there, as opposed to stockpiling 30 rotations in a row that last half an hour. You know? Malignancy. Wouldn't it be nice if we were malignant? Cool. Yeah. Right there, right there. Yes. Bada boom. The Sentinel Guardian of yours. That would have killed me a long, long time ago. This is quite the journey here in Diablo 4 to get stronger. Stronger.
Come, traveler. Fine. Follow the stars.
And then go for gloves.
Hello, Vassili's ghost. I had that in my bag.
Okay, what is going on here? Alright. Okay, I'm looking at my inventory. Drop off these boss parts, baby. And there are my keys. I found them. A big old pile of garbage. When I say gyar, you say biatch. Done. You know, I used to call everything garbage, and now I can't call things garbage anymore, can I? Not trash. Look, I'm saying trash. Look at that. See? It's because I don't like to say bad words. But now I feel like garbage is a bad word. Thanks a lot, Michelle. I can't say garbage anymore. Okay. Let's go. Ha ha. All right, looking great. 1.3 billion gold. Yep. All right. I'm gonna go grab my scarf, and I'll be right back. Okay. Like and subscribe, and don't forget to send those bucket loads of stars. All those stars. Okay. I did all that and didn't get my scarf. I didn't get my scarf. Yeah. Live. And go. The Tree of Whispers. Now I'll do some high-end content. Gotta change it up.